you so much for joining. And so basically, I would start this session with the fact that whatever I'm covering today is something which I haven't found on the internet. So I'm an author. I'm a veteran as well. I'm a retired deputy commandant from the Indian Coast Guard, and writing was something which came into picture some 2 years back for me. So as of now, I have authored two books. First one is a contemporary fiction, and the second one is a historical fiction. So now, when it comes to writing, for me, I do not have any specific training for writing, but since I have had a little experience when I've written the contemporary fiction and historical fiction, so it has helped me exactly get to know what writing is all about. So this video is basically for all those writers who have started writing, who used to write but they have left their manuscripts incomplete, for those people who would love to write, and absolutely for those people who want to get back to writing. Please finish your manuscripts. Please consider this fact that if you are writing a book, you are doing one of the toughest jobs in the world, because to write is something which will help you actually get to know your nature, get to know your characteristics, and it is true meditation. So, before we start with the 5 ways to elaborate your book manuscript, let me tell you about some key points of writing. First one is you have to be very much consistent with your writing. So, a lot of people leave their writing, maybe after 1 month or 2 months or maybe 5 days. Do not do that. Please write every day. Write every day. 500 words, 1,000 words, let it be, even 5 minutes, it's okay. But you should think and you should write. The second one is that you should know what you are writing. You should know your plot. You do not have to just keep scribbling something on your notebook because you are giving time to it. So you have to be consistent, you have to know your plot. And the third thing, where there's a will, there's a way. You have to understand that you have to finish your manuscript. You have to have that will to finish your book, because the day you get your book in your hand, I'm telling you, that is one of the best feeling. It's like giving birth to a baby. So it's your baby, you have created it, and it takes a lot of effort, and it takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of positivity to get a book in your hands, and it actually feels you have given birth to a baby. So please do that, please try doing that, and I'm sure that you will get the same feeling. So now, without wasting any time, let's go to this topic of 5 ways to elaborate your manuscript. So I have made a small presentation. I hope it helps. So in case if you want, you can have your screenshots as well. It will help you. So number one, we will start in the decreasing order. The first one is use your 5 senses. Okay, so use your 5 senses is when you are making a scene, when you are writing something about a scene, you should use your 5 senses. Whatever you are seeing, whatever you can smell, whatever you can taste, whatever you can hear, it all helps in upgrading your writing. I'll give you an example. After this slide, I'll give you an example of exactly what I'm talking about. But just think that you have to use your 5 senses when you are actually trying to elaborate a scene. The next one, get into the scene, be aware. Now when I say that touch and smell and taste, see and hear doesn't mean that this is what it is. You have to know what is behind, what is happening behind your back. For example, you may hear the curtains fluttering, or you may see the sun rising. So there is a scene which is happening right in front of you, but there's something happening right outside the scene. So you have to be aware of exactly what is the situation all about. So basically, you have to let your creative buds do the work. You have to think that you are in that scene and start making your scenarios. The third one is use a lot of adjectives, use a lot of adverbs and descriptions. So adjectives and adverbs, if you want, I can take a class on this as well, on exactly how you're supposed to use adjectives and adverbs. But as of now, why I'm saying I've missed a word, synonyms. I've missed a word. So basically what you do is when you are talking about something like the sun, So the sun is, you can talk about the colors, you can talk about the various hues, you can talk about the sunrise, the sunset, exactly what is happening in front of you. You can see the birds flying, through the image of the sun, and you can see the clouds, all violet and pink, and it's looking amazing, it's mesmerizing. So a lot of things which you can actually talk about when it comes to a scene. And in case if you're not able to, so there are a lot of people who have language issues as well. I'm also not an Oxford graduate, or I'm not too good in English that I have all the words in my mind. So there's a app called Word Hippo. Wordhippo.com is something which you should definitely use, because the kind of adjectives it gives to you for certain word, when it comes to using a noun, using a pronoun, how you're using it, so it gives you a lot of meaning depending upon the scenario you are creating. So you can use that as well. Otherwise, you can easily use in the Word file in the Microsoft Word. You can always go to the synonyms by right clicking on it and choose your whatever as per the requirement. Second thing, emotions which are depicting your personality. Now, when I talk about emotions, are you happy in that scene? Are you feeling sad in that scene? What is the character trying to show? Because emotions are something which should be attached to any scenario. So, in case if we are talking about maybe drinking a cup of coffee, so does it make you feel sad? No. Does it make you feel energetic? Yes. It makes me feel happy. It makes me feel fresh for the day. So, these are the emotions which have to be put into a paragraph. So, this will actually help you expand the manuscript and get to help you know more about the character, because we build characters. So building characters is something which takes time. It is not that one instant oh this is what my character is going to be. That's not going to happen. So as you keep reading, as you keep writing, you will turn your characters in your story as per the goal what you have decided to, the motive what you want to show through the story. So this is emotions depicting your personality should be there. The first one, the memories and flashbacks. So we have seen a lot of Hindi movies, a lot of Bollywood goes. There's a lady and there's a guy, and maybe they have an affair or something, and then they have a flashback. So they show their marriage and they have a flashback of how they had an affair in college and all that. So flashback and memories is something which can be addition. It can be an addition to a certain scene, because that is how you will actually get into the reader's mind. That's how the reader will get to know what the character is all about. What was his childhood like? What was his relationships like? If we show anger in a scene, why does he get angry on the situation? Why does he get happy on the situation? Why does he love kids so much? So all those things can be shown by memories and flashback. So these are the 5 ways you can elaborate the manuscript. Just to give an example, I have made a certain slide. Let's move to that. Okay, so over here we have, a case scenario. I'm not talking about any war scene, or I'm not talking about any love scene or anything. I'm taking a very simple case of picking up coffee, drinking that coffee, sipping it, and then placing that cup of coffee back on the table. A very short scene, if I do it actually and you see me virtually, it will finish off within 3 seconds. But frankly, when it comes to writing it, you can actually make this scene, almost for one A4 size sheet. If you think, and you apply all those points which I've given to you. Let's move ahead point to point. So when we talk about using your 5 senses, see color of the coffee and steam. So when we talk about 5 senses, what are you able to see in the coffee? Are you able to see the steam coming out? Are you able to smell caffeine? Or is it too hot when you pick it up? So these are all things which are, related to your senses. So whatever you are able to see, whatever you're able to feel or hear, please start writing that. Do not worry about the editing part, because that's what editors will do for you. And in case if you're good enough, you can always edit your own book. And I go by that rule. I prefer editing my own book. So you can always do that. Color of coffee, steam, smell, caffeine, hot when you pick it up. So all those things you can do, and a lot more creativity can be added depending upon how much you can think. The fourth one, get into the scene. So now when we're talking, when you're drinking coffee, it doesn't mean that we're just drinking coffee. A lot of things happening around, like what? The coffee machine which is whirling, there's a fan which is on, and it's creating a lot of sound. There is, you wiggle your finger inside that cup holder, and then you have it. Maybe there's a saucer also attached to it. The saucer clinks and clanks, and when you're keeping the cup back on the table, or there is a small circle, what do you say, in case if the coffee spills on the table, there's a small circle which is on the table. It happens because of the milk and the tea. So all those scenes are something which you are thinking, just there, and you think, okay, this is what has happened to me, and this is something which I can use in the description part. Third one, use adjectives, adverbs, descriptions. For example, how is the cup like? What is a cup like? Is it ceramic gold embossed, or is it something which has a print on that, or there's some text written on that, or it's very heavy, it's very costly, or it's very cheap, it's very fragile. So all those things you can use as adjectives, a lot of adverbs, descriptions, and, as I said, synonyms. So that will also help you elaborate your paragraph to a certain level. Emotions depicting your personality. So when we're talking about a cup of coffee here, picking it up, drinking, and placing it back on the table. So basically, what does it show? When you're having coffee, of course, you may be a day person, or maybe you're having it before you're going out for a walk, or maybe you have just come back from a walk and you want coffee. Maybe you have had a hangover yesterday night and you want to let that out. So basically, or it's true happiness, or you're just sitting with someone and having a cup of coffee, or maybe you're just seeing the mountains and nature and then you're having a cup of coffee. So a lot of things are attached to that, which shows your personality, it shows your emotions, and that's how you can frame your character. The last one is memories. That is, when you are drinking coffee, can you think of someone? Do you think that you've had this kind of coffee, or a better coffee, or a bad coffee somewhere, in any of the shops, or maybe at your grandmom's place, or maybe your mom made it for you, or maybe you made it for yourself. So all those memories, all those flashbacks, which are connected to a very small thing like coffee. So these are the 5 ways I feel that you can elaborate your manuscript. It's such a small scene, so when we start writing it will definitely fill up an entire page, and this is such a small scene. So when you talk about war scenarios, when you talk about college days, or when you talk about training times, or anything, you can definitely elaborate it to as much creativity as you can put in. So thank you so much, and I had a great time, giving so much of knowledge from my side. Whatever I feel was not there available for me or for anyone else. And thank you so much again. And see you soon then. And for any, yeah, in case if you have any other kind of points, or any kind of information where you can actually help in elaborating a scene, please DM me, and definitely I would like to cover it in my next session. And any other information or any other book writing concept, definitely I'm all ears. Thank you so much.